It's the Sports Biz Buzz, and it's sponsored by Citywide Banks. And today's topic is baseball's average salary, which for the first time has gone over $4 million. In fact, it's $4.25 million. That's the average salary now of a Major League Baseball player. Patrick Saunders of the Denver Post. Does this tell us just how healthy Major League Baseball is these days?
It does. You can talk all you want about how the NFL kicks its butt in ratings, and there's no question. But the local TV contracts that the teams are pulling in around the country, the incredible gate, the marketing that MLB has done much better at in the last decade, it shows you how healthy it is. And I'll tell you what, guys, if I was a parent, and I don't have kids myself, but and my kid was choosing between the NFL or Major League Baseball, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you think about it, you're a relief pitcher, you put in a few good years, and you're hanging around, and you're guaranteed $2, $3, $4 million a year, and you can last forever. Look at LaTroy Hawkins. I mean, he's a multimillionaire. Think of the things he's done. It's crazy money. It's crazy money.
Yes, I've always said that if I'd had a son, I would have tied his right hand behind his back and made him pitch and made him learn how to be a left-hander. And people laugh at that, but Phil Mickelson is a right-hander that plays golf left-handed. So I don't know. Did you
guys know that Todd Helton plays golf right-handed?
Does he really?
Yeah, amazing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Huh. Ben Hogan was a left-hander who played golf right-handed. So I think, if you're a left-handed pitcher, you can hang around forever. Speaking of LaTroy Hawkins, and this is a little bit off subject, but I wanted to bring it up with you because I was studying the Negro Leagues in baseball earlier this morning. And you asked me why I would do that, because I have no life. But there's a former Negro League player that's buried here, and it's an interesting story. And I thought, once again, the Rockies, I believe, are going to open the season with one African-American player. That doesn't mean the Rockies are anti-African-American. It means that baseball is down from at one point 35-40% were black players. Now the number is down below, I think it's in the 20% or maybe even a little bit lower. Did you see anybody in spring training with the Rockies? And again, this is not an anti-Rocky stance. This is a statement about what you said. If you had a son, you'd have him play baseball. Well, African Americans are not playing baseball in this country. Did you see anybody coming up in the Rocky system that is an African American? Because LaTroy's going to retire at the end of the year.
Yeah, there are a few in the minors. Guys, you're putting me. Roger Bernardina, I believe, the outfielder. I believe he's African American. There's a couple others, but not a lot. And the Rockies aren't alone in that. You look around baseball, and it's let's be blunt. It's a lot of Latin players, and there's a lot of rich white kids from the suburbs who spend a lot of money to go to baseball camps year round. I mean, that's really what Major League Baseball in this country has become.
Yeah, Dan O'Dowd figured that out. He sent his son to the baseball academies, and I think you're absolutely right. But just when I thought about LaTroy retiring at the end of the year, I said, they don't have any problems. I mean, guys that are one step away from the major leagues who are African Americans, I knew that, but they could be in a situation next year where they have none, which to me is just a startling thing.
That's true, Woody. There's no question. But they're not the only team in that boat. LaTroy, you mentioned him, and he's been very active in trying to get African-American kids involved. He lives down in the Atlanta area. He also spends a lot of time in Texas. And he's been trying to get kids involved, and he really has a passion for it. But for whatever reason, youth today find baseball boring, slow, not cool, whatever. It's the reality of it.
Society finds that, I think, in general, that it's so long and boring and dull. Going back to what Les brought up of the business of baseball, I find it always funny that in the 1880s, there were stories written in newspapers about baseball players making salaries that were just out of control. I'm not saying 1980s, I'm saying 1880s. So when people talk about, paying a guy $5 million, you have to realize that this is entertainment. And Bill Daniels, and both of you are familiar with the name, Bill Daniels basically was the father of cable television. If it hadn't been for cable television and ESPN, then the mushrooming of all of these baseball systems, baseball wouldn't be paying this amount of money. So it's really been the result of television that's pushed it over $4 million per year. Would you agree with that, Patrick?
Oh, no question about it. And I don't begrudge any of the players in any of the sports for getting what they can get, particularly the NFL, where your career's so short and your body's on the line every day. I mean, I understand why fans get disgruntled and they don't want to have to pay, $8 beers for watered down beer at a spring training game. I think that's outrageous. But we don't have any qualms about, country western stars or rock stars pulling in gazillions of dollars either. You're right. It's entertainment. As long as people are going to pay for it, it keeps us in business, keeps our jobs going, I guess.
I've never seen a Picasso painting that I would pay more than $8 for, and people paid $15 million for a Picasso that he drew in 5 minutes. So I don't know how. You're right. I don't know how. You're absolutely right. I don't know how you begrudge people getting what they get. Oh, they make more than firemen. Well, yes. That's true.
Patrick,
that's absolutely true.
It's not just TV. It's one of the most well-kept secrets in all of sports. It's how much money baseball is making from BAM, Baseball Advanced Media, and the internet as well, correct?
That's no question about that. As I said a few minutes ago, baseball has come a long way in terms of marketing and what they get that you don't see on the field. The product off the field has been a cash cow for MLB.
Hey, Patrick, as always, appreciate it. Unfortunately, you have to leave beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona at the end of this week and come back home to a little bit colder weather. Sorry about that.
He's going to Milwaukee.
Well, I'm coming home for a day, and then I'm going to Milwaukee.
Well,
it's supposed to snow in Denver, right?
Possible,
really.
But probably not.
It's
hey,
raining.
Okay.
It's raining.
Thank you for all your help during spring training, Patrick. And when we see you next, hopefully it'll be right in this chair over here, all right?
Yeah, I'd love to come in and see you guys.
All right, Patrick Saunders of the Denver Post.
Yeah. Get rid of the cap.
That was the Sports Biz Buzz, sponsored by Citywide Banks.
I am Citywide Banks.
I am Citywide Banks.
At Citywide Banks,
We put you first by exceeding your service expectations every day.
Every day.